I'll show you how to make this small bow from scratch. Let's get started. I'm going to show you how to make a bow out of this small width ribbon. This ribbon in the industry, in the floral industry anyway, it's called number 3, and it's actually just a smidge wider than a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to use ribbon, small, and I like to use a floral wire. This is a fairly thin floral wire that I get from a local florist, and I've actually cut it in half with the wire cutters, and then of course we need scissors. So I'm going to make a bow as if I'm going to put it on a package. So first I'll pull out a length of ribbon, so just unwind as much as you think you might need. And the trick is to know which side is the right side, first of all, which is the shinier side, and then there's an underside, which is the back of the ribbon. And what I'm going to do is twist it, and that helps it give it its poof in the center. And I start out deciding how long I want the tail. I can always cut more off, but it depends on the size of the package, or if I'm going to attach the bow to something, how long I want the tail to be. And I start with the wrong side up, shiny side down, and I'm going to twist it once. So now I'm holding the twist in my left hand, and now the right side is on top, and I'm going to make my first loop. And I'll grab it and twist it. Then I'm going to make my second loop. So now you see I'm holding it with my left hand. I'm right-handed, but holding it with my left hand, and I twist again. Make loop number 3, twist, make loop number 4. So how many loops do I want to make? Well, obviously an even number, but it depends on the size of the package. So a lot of times I'll want a 12 loop bow or a 16 loop bow. If you're starting out, I would suggest that you start off practicing just making a 6 loop or an 8 loop bow, and just practice, practice, practice until you can hold it in your hand. It's kind of like riding a bike. You have to keep trying, but once you learn how to do it, you never forget. I once owned a store, and I hired some ladies who had been florists before. It was a giftware store, but we did a lot of bows and specialty packaging, and they never forgot how to make bows after they learned the first time. So here I now have 12 loops, just for fun. I'm going to make 14. Make my last loop, and now I'm going to use my scissors and cut off a tail that's about as long, at least as long as the other one. Now I'm going to take my floral wire and stick it between my fingers and make a V out of it, a very tight V, and pull it through the center and pinch it with my right hand. And now I'm going to twist several times. You'll notice I'm holding the wire in my right hand and twisting the bow. And that's so that the wire twists into the bow to get the tightest possible bow. Because if it's loose in the wire, it will just be a loose looking bow. You don't want that. You want a really tight bow. Because I'm going to put this on a package, I'm going to cut off the extra wire. There's just going to be a little bit on it at the end. And even though the wire is green, because the bow is so thick, it's going to be okay. You're not going to see it. Now at this point, if I had a package, I would tie it onto the package. So I would have wrapped the gift, put a bow on the gift, and then use this thickness, this number 3 ribbon, to tie a piece onto the center of the package, and then I tie the bow on. Then I do what we call fluffing the bow. But I'll fluff the bow right here. Since technically I don't have a package, I'm just doing this to demonstrate how to make the bow. So we fluff it, and that is a very simple bow. And after you tie it on your package, you can cut off the ends, the little tails. You can either cut them in an angle like that, or you can even fold the ribbon in half lengthwise and then cut with the scissors to make a V. So that's how you make a very simple bow.